Welcome back, eSIM Studios. Now, the Pixel 8 series are coming out soon. Google announced that October 4th, I guess it'll be officially announced October the 4th, and they will also open up pre-orders on their website, at the carrier, stuff like that, for the new Google Pixel 8 series, Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 8. Now, I know today was the official iPhone release when you can actually buy one. But started to get to thinking, I'm getting really excited for this Pixel series. As you know, this channel is a hashtag Team Pixel, and we are a Team Pixel household. We all have Pixels in this family, so among other devices as well. But got really excited, especially for the smaller Pixel 8. I had never in the past even considered getting the Pixel 6 or the Pixel 7. I do like the size, but I did not like the kind of a smaller brother, smaller sister type of specs that Google was putting inside of these devices. Now, I know Samsung keeps on their smaller devices specs pretty similar, minus a couple of things, but Google would, like on the Pixel 6 and Pixel 7, it'd have a 90 hertz refresh rate. And basically a 1080p display, and then the Pros would have the 120 hertz refresh rate and the QHD or 4K screen. This year is exciting because Google is decking out the smaller Pixel 8, so it's no longer going to be the little sidekick that's following along in the big brother's footsteps. This one's going to be decked out. It's basically going to be spec'd out the same as the bigger Pixel 8 Pro, with I think the one main difference I can think, the smaller one's gonna have a 120 hertz display. Now it is gonna have a 2K screen, or I guess 1080p plus, so it'll be better than a 280p, 1080p, and then it'll be less than 2K. It's gonna be much improved, and they're actually upgrading the actual panel, the LED panel underneath it, so it'll look awesome, vibrant, super fast, super fluid, and not to mention, they're going to put 12 gigabytes of RAM in the smaller phone. Yes, 12 gigabytes of RAM in the smaller phone. That's the other reason why I never considered the smaller one. It always had 8 gigs of RAM. Now, can I get away with using a device with 8 gigs of RAM? Yes. However, when I do use a smaller device with 8 gigs, like a Samsung S22 or S23 would have 8 gigs, I would always use the virtual RAM and add another 8 gigs on top of it to technically have, I guess, 16 gigs of RAM. On Pixels, they don't have virtual RAM. You cannot take some of your storage and use it as RAM. This year, no worries, because it's going to officially have 12 gigs of RAM out of the box. Even though they don't have virtual RAM, this year, it doesn't matter. 12 gigs right out the box. That is the best case scenario I can think of. So very excited. Thank you, hallelujah. Thank you, Google. Because now this is going to open the floodgates. Now, they've had this plan for, I want to say 2 years. I think they considered doing it last year on this year's Pixel 7. I think they scratched it at the last second, and now they're putting it on the Pixel 8 series. With the 12 gigs of RAM. So they're kind of doing it like the Apple's lineup, right? They're going to have a big like the Pro Max, and then a smaller like the Pro, although they're going to share the same specs. And then they're going to have obviously they don't have a Plus or just a regular one, but Google's going to have a spec'd out top of the line specs, big device and small device. And then it looks like they're going to keep their A series because as of just a few months ago, there was rumors and documents internally that said that they were going to nix the A series. Well, now, today, I got news that they're going to keep it. And actually, a Pixel 8A was benchmarked. So, you're going to have a top-of-the-line big device in the 8 Pro. You're going to have a top-of-the-line smaller device in the 8. And then you're going to have a cheaper spec down device in the 8A. Now, what might change is the release date. I don't know if they're going to pair the... Now, it wouldn't be this year because they just released the 7A. I think what they're going to do is... I think they're... Look, I don't know what they're going to do, but I would like to think that they release all 3 phones all on the same day, because you know they do they're like this upcoming year, or just recently they released the 7A a few months ago, and then they're going to release the Pixel 8 series. So they do their flagship series and then the A series like 6 months apart. I wish they would just release them all at once. So they might do that in the future. The 8A is not coming on October 4th. It's just going to be the Pro and the 8. Very excited to hear and see the news. Now, the one main thing that I want to see improved, and this bugs the hell out of me, and I start to get worked up and like pissed off when I think about it, because it didn't really affect me because we use Pixels a lot, although it hasn't really affected us or me personally until recently, is the device overheating and the video camera shutting down, indoor camera shutting down. Pixel, if you're not aware, has a ginormous problem with their devices overheating. And when you take videos outside, your device will get too hot and your camera app shuts down. So then you can't even take pictures or videos. That happened to me personally. I do have videos on documenting it if you want to go back and look in our video library. This new Tensor G3 CPU is supposed to be smaller, more efficient, and cooler. They recently put out, or I guess they didn't put out, but a leak was come to light that they, with the Tensor G3, are repackaging as far as how they put the chip together, the CPU together in the manufacturing process. They actually made some improvements to where it will run a little less cooler or has better heat dissipation, so it doesn't get as hot, so the camera app won't shut down. Now, when they move to TSMC for their chip manufacturing, I think in 2 years, I think for the Pixel 10 will be the first year Google's gonna have TSMC manufacture their chips. TSMC, if you're not familiar, they're the biggest chip manufacturer in the world, and they manufacture all of Apple's chips, CPUs, and all of these Snapdragon CPUs. Now, Google is using Samsung and basically their Exynos chip in Samsung for manufacturing. Now, they have to use it for this Pixel 8 and Pixel 9, but the Pixel 10 will be TSMC, and that is big news because TSMC doesn't really have an issue with overheating. There are some stories, yes, you will see it, but not as often as Samsung has had overheating issues with their Exynos chips. And if you're unaware, the Google Tensor chip is basically a rebranded Samsung Exynos CPU. So I hope they can figure out and rework their overheating issues. Even I was thinking maybe if they, look, I'm sure they've thought of this. I'm sure their engineers are all over it, but it just made me wonder, like, I know OnePlus, even as of a couple years ago, was talking about their cooling system. Now they have cooling pipes and liquid cooled pipes and vents in the back of their devices, not on the outside, but on the inside. I really, really hope Google takes this very seriously with the overheating issues. I know their phones are basically already manufactured. They're basically in boxes waiting to be shipped out, but I really hope 3 months ago when they were manufacturing these phones and these chips, and when they designed this phone over a year ago, to really, really focus on this overheating issue. It drives me crazy. In fact, so much that I barely even use my Pixel anymore, especially in the summertime when it's been over 100 degrees for like almost 60 days straight. I can't record or shoot or take video or camera shots basically outside. I can take pictures and stuff, but when you start recording, it heats up very, very, very fast. So we are ordering Pixel 8s here. I believe we're getting a Pro and a regular one. I'm not sure. I think we're getting an 8 and an 8 Pro. So we'll have them in here. I'm going to be doing tons of testing, especially outside. See, I'm going to I'm going to put this to the test. I'm going to run all sorts of video recording tests outside to see if I can get it to overheat and shut down. Because if it overheats and shuts down within like a few minutes, which the 7 series started doing, I'm returning it. So stay tuned to the channel. Just a few weeks away. We're going to order them. We're going to get them in. We're going to unbox them. We're going to review them. We're going to have case reviews. And I'm going to try to overheat it and see, compare it to the S23 Ultra and to the older Pixel 7 series as well. So we will be able to see what they're offering this year for the consumer. So stay tuned to the channel. We have big Samsung news I'm going to put out tomorrow, and I do appreciate your time. Peace out.